Hi, it's me, Ingrid INFP, and I've been pretty depressed, and I'm thinking of maybe starting my antidepressants again because it's autumn and the days are getting shorter and it is getting colder. Yeah, I also have a lot of worries about my work and about life in general. I've been reading Slaughterhouse-Five, which hasn't been helping, let's just say, by Kurt Vonnegut. It is about World War II and PTSD, and yeah, kind of outside what I usually read, which is good, and it is a pretty quick read. I only have like 30 pages left or something to read. But yeah, still, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. But yeah, it's been pretty cold in the mornings and pretty warm in afternoons. And I hate being sweaty and I hate being cold. And there we are. I've also had to do a course in gynecology for 3 days where I had to go on a bus for 1.5 hours up and take the car with my colleague on the way back. And that takes a lot of energy, even if I wasn't the one driving. So yeah, I have this feelings wheel. So let's see like what I feel today. Okay, non-sponsored. So I'm feeling bad, sad, and angry, and fearful. I don't know. So in bad, I would say I am apathetic, overwhelmed, and unfocused. And in terms of my sadness, I would say I'm feeling fragile and empty. And in my anger, I would say that I'm feeling annoyed and withdrawn. Okay. So that's kind of how it feels right now. Not too good. And yeah, the gynecology class was really good and really useful because I need to know about these things. It's just that nobody at my workplace can really help me with these things. Because my supervisor, for example, she was taught during the time of before all of these different kinds of contraceptives came along and all of this. So, maybe she knows one contraceptive, but not like 10,000. And it feels like there are 10,000. And people come and they expect me to know how to treat them directly, with contraceptive and with menopause. Usually that wasn't something that primary care doctors would do here in Sweden because the gynecology department or the youth center department would take care of that. But nowadays, primary care doctors are supposed to take care of that. And I don't know much. And now I know more. I still feel uncomfortable, but it feels a little bit better. Yeah, it's also kind of difficult to go through a gynecology course as a woman, because, especially as a person who's anxious like me, because you hear about, these are all of the diseases that people can have, terrible diseases, and now women can have these extra diseases, men can have some diseases, but women have an extra number of diseases and problems that can happen. And it doesn't matter whether you have children or you don't have children, or you're in menopause or you're not in menopause. Like, you get problems at menopause, and you get problems when you're having menstruation, and you're having problems when you're not having menstruation, because you're having anticonception pills that give you problems, and everything just gives problems. And that really sucks, and it kind of made me worried about the future. because, well, preferably what I would want in my ideal world is just for me to get a hysterectomy and be done with it all. But that also brings its whole host of problems, because a female human body only produces estrogen and testosterone through the woman's organs. So you need to, you can't be done with, you need your hormones just to be able to survive. And you can't just decide to get rid of the hormones. Just because you have taken away your uterus does not mean that endometriosis doesn't activate every month anyway. So yeah, there are a lot of problems. And yeah, that really stressed me out. Anyway, it was great to be able to go back home with my colleague, because he's really chill and he's very experienced, and he only has 6 months left of his residency. So he is, I kind of see him as like an older brother or something like that. He's seen me throughout Burnout and all of that, and he's seen me even when I was a junior doctor way back in 2019. He was doing his internship at that time. So we've known each other on and off for a few years now. But he rarely talks, and he's a pretty wise person, I don't know if he's ISTJ, ISTP even, I don't know. But he's a very practical, down-to-earth kind of guy. But he's very compassionate as well. His partner went to Burnout during her internship. It must have been around 2020 or something that she got burnt out. And I actually met his partner, it must have been 2018. And she recommended the place that I work in now. So it's actually because of her that I am working at my place now. So it is sad to think that she got so burnt out that she stopped clinical work entirely, and now is working in research and medical research. That's great for her that she has found that, but it is sad about the burnout, right? So so he knows about how burnout can be, and he has seen me in tears and all that. And unfortunately, he has had to pick up some of my slack, because at that moment, he and I were the only resident doctors at my workplace. And so anything that I didn't do, he would have to pick up after me. And I feel kind of guilty about that. But he said that he doesn't feel any resentment about that. And I believe him, because he's a pretty, straightforward guy. But yeah, so he also talked to me a little bit about, like, he's on my side, about how I shouldn't have to do my internal medicine placement at a hospital that has bad reputation for mistreating its residents. But he said, well, if you have to do it at this place anyway, because my region doesn't have money to send me outside of the region, then he said that we need to work for me getting a short replacement so that I can survive through it, because he knows that there is a risk of me getting burnt out. And that is kind of how I'm feeling right now. At the moment, I kind of feel like my hour of death is coming in a year, like autumn 2025 is like the date on my gravestone. I'm joking, obviously, but it's kind of that feeling that's just like, I don't want to think about that date because I am scared, but that's kind of how it is. And he said, like, so my colleague said, that my boss is also on our side, and my supervisor doesn't want me to die or to get into burnout in a year's time. He said that I should talk to my boss and talk to my supervisor and try to figure out a way to make it possible. It won't be easy, but just to be able to relieve some of that stress about feeling like I'm all alone in this, and that nobody cares, when there are people who do want the best for me. And he said that I can argue my case a little bit about because of my mental health. Now, my friend does not know about my possible autism, but he does know that I am not as resilient as some other people. Or he knows about my resilience until I get into burnout, and how close I am to burnout all the time, So he, he said that like the sorts of things that my boss needs to hear. So like what I could take up in a meeting. So that was really helpful, and I felt validated in that, and that I could actually open up to my friend about that. Notice I'm saying friend because he is my friend. I mean, we are colleagues, but we're also friends. But yeah, so I was feeling stressed out about the whole thing. One thing that did make me happy about this course has been that, first of all, I've been doing better since I got like some kind of flu last weekend, so I was feeling better about that. And also that one of the gynecologists who worked at the youth center for teenagers and young adults, she was dressed the part. She had a rainbow jacket, and she had big earrings, like kind of funky earrings, and she had a t-shirt. And the first day she had "Make Abortion Safe Again," with like the American logo. And the next day she had like a black t-shirt with like a bright pink picture of a vulva on it. Which, I felt like she really embodies what you'd want a youth center doctor to look like. And she had an undercut as well, like the lesbian cut. And it made me feel more at ease. And I'm not going to pretend that, life is all bad. It's just, I feel bad. But life has been good, actually. It's just that I am feeling a lack of motivation, and I'm feeling pretty lost because half of my brain cells is occupied in worrying about whether I have an autism diagnosis or not, and what to do until then with my life, and what I will do after that. And that takes up so much of my brain space. And then also so I'm trying to keep on living as if nothing is happening, but subconsciously my brain and body knows that something is up. And I'm trying to keep on moving, keep on doing things, but I cannot get myself to do things, and that is pretty depressing. So I'm trying, at least. I'm going to see if I can register for a course. I've been procrastinating that. I also think I'm going to be investing in either YouTube Premium or Spotify Premium, because I realized that I've missed out on a lot of good songs going on lately. I realized that Bishop Briggs had come out with a song, and Clara Luciani is coming out with an album. And I saw Mothica came out with an album, and Hozier had a new song, and I haven't been listening to music much lately. I don't know, like, what kind of boring person doesn't listen to music? But I guess I haven't been listening to music. I've been so into just listening to my to YouTube videos in background of people talking, that I haven't been listening to music. So that is something I'm going to try to get into again. I'm going to try to get back into reading again. Once I'm finished with this book, I think I'm going to go on to maybe some Jane Austen or some Emily Bronte. I know that those books are pretty boring for my brain, but I want to try it at least. Yeah, so I want to do that. I also want to get back into my crochet and, slowly get myself into the autumn phase of how my life looks like during autumn. Because I've gotten used to this nice summer thing that I have going on where I go and walk through the forest and all that. But I can't do that all the time when it's autumn and it's raining and it's sad. So I need to find other coping strategies, which is, if you're autistic and you have a change to your routine, it's quite a problem where I have to transition myself, it's like a car that's going and then it's like, I have to turn the wheels completely and swerve and go in that direction, and that takes some energy. I get, when I am in this kind of stressed out, strange state where nothing really works, I get irritated at all kinds of different things, and I get irritated at, there was this kid at the supermarket that was about 12, but this 12-year-old kept bumping into me at the grocery store, and I just had to run away and hide in some aisle because I just couldn't deal with this 12-year-old running around with a grocery cart, and you can't get mad at a 12-year-old, but that's kind of what I felt like doing, and then I also get angry at the neighbor speaking too loud because I can hear through all these walls, and I get irritated at people and I don't want to be, so I'm trying to breathe and not think about it. But when I am on the edge like this, I get really, and so, it's cold, and then I get really frustrated by the cold. So there are quite a lot of things, and then I go to the grocery store and my grocery store doesn't have the specific kind of bread that I want, and I seem more autistic when I am in this kind of state, which is great for my diagnostic process, but it's not great for my life. So we'll see how that goes once the diagnosis comes. I am pretty tired of myself right now, because it feels like things are going well in my life. Things are fine, and I'm doing all the things, but I'm eating and I'm sleeping and I'm doing the things that you're supposed to do, but that doesn't give me any motivation to actually do something extra on top of that. And that is pretty sad. So I'm going to try to get into something that makes me happy. Maybe find some new series to check out. I don't know. but it's even hard to do that. So yeah, I guess I'll have to go back onto the medication, but I really am not very happy about that, you know. I wish I could just go on without them forever. But you know, I don't want to go on like this forever either. So there we go. I don't have anything more to say. I'm having a hard time making videos because I'm starting to, you know, it's easy for me to start questioning everything. Like questioning if why I even started the diagnostic process for autism, if I am even autistic, if I'm not, can I even make videos where I talk about autism at all, you know? What if I'm not autistic and then it's like all of this was a lie? What if all of this MBTI stuff was just autistic stuff? What if, on the contrary, all of this autism stuff was just MBTI stuff? What if MBTI isn't real? You know, I get into, you know, I started thinking about all sorts of things I attributed to MBTI, which was basically either just autism or trauma, you know. I was thinking of, you know, some of my friends that I've talked about on this channel, which maybe I shouldn't have done, but now we're here. I attributed certain things to their MBTI type, but it maybe just is trauma. You know, maybe it's just, you know, trauma responses. And, you know, maybe I could have helped these people better had I recognized these things as trauma responses. Or maybe not. Who knows? Maybe we'll never know. But yeah, it's kind of, it's difficult for me to talk about anything without, you know, being contradictory to something else. And that's why it's been hard. Also, it's been hard because I've, I don't know. I feel like I should be more grateful about the positive comments that I get. And I really love them. It's just that one negative comment will destroy the impact of like 10 other positive comments, which really, I mean, that's the way the human psychology works, but it is kind of, you know, it makes me feel like I'm ungrateful to all of the nice commenters. It's like, oh, well, also, do you really want people to just be nice in the comments and not be truthful? But yeah, actually, I just want to have positive comments. I'm not interested in people being truthful. Not right now. I think I'm not strong enough now, you know, to do that. So yeah, that's it. Have a great day. Bye.